In the fleeting world of internet fame, few stories burn as brightly or crash as spectacularly as that of Hayley Welch, the Tuah Girl. In less than 6 months, she went from a viral sensation to a cautionary tale, her meteoric rise undone by a single, catastrophic misstep. What began as a spontaneous moment of unfiltered charisma spiraled into a saga of greed, betrayal, and self-sabotage. This is the story of how Hayley Welch, armed with the internet's adoration, squandered it all in a breathtaking display of hubris. Her downfall wasn't just a product of bad decisions, it was a masterclass in how to alienate a fanbase, torch credibility, and become a synonym for scam. And it all started with a single, unforgettable clip. It was a warm summer evening in 2024 when a street interviewer asked Hayley Welch a simple, cheeky question about intimacy. Her response, delivered in a thick southern drawl with an exaggerated Tuah sound effect, was absurd, shocking, and undeniably hilarious.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
You gotta give him that Tuah and spit on that thing, you get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Tuah and spit on it!
The clip exploded on TikTok, racking up millions of views in hours. The internet crowned her the Tuah Girl, a moniker that captured her raw, unpolished charm. She wasn't an influencer polished by years of content creation or a celebrity with a PR team. She was a regular person from Tennessee, unapologetically herself, and the internet loved her for it. Her exaggerated accent, her infectious laugh, and her fearless honesty made her a rare gem in a sea of curated personas. Hayley seized the moment, as anyone would. She launched a merchandise line, t-shirts, hats, and even Tuah branded shot glasses flew off virtual shelves. She made appearances on podcasts, at events, and even scored deals with major brands. Her social media following skyrocketed into the millions, with fans drawn to her authenticity. She wasn't chasing clout, she was the clout. Most notably, she started a podcast, Tuah Talks, aiming to turn her 15 minutes of fame into a sustainable brand. The momentum was undeniable. Major creators wanted to collaborate. Brands were knocking, and her fans saw her as the ultimate underdog, a small-town girl who'd struck gold without losing her relatability. But that relatability, that trust, would soon be her undoing. In late 2024, Hayley announced the launch of the Tuah token, a cryptocurrency she pitched as a way to give back to her fans. She framed it as a community-driven project, a chance for her supporters to invest in her success and share in the rewards. The announcement was met with initial excitement. After all, her fans trusted her. But within hours, cracks appeared. Crypto watchdogs on X began dissecting the project, pointing out red flags, vague white papers, questionable partnerships, and a token structure that seemed designed to enrich insiders. YouTube's scam hunter-in-chief, CoffeeZilla, took notice, promising a deep dive. The optics were already sour, but the facts were devastating. Hayley had partnered with Doc Hollywood, a figure with a checkered history in crypto circles, known for promoting dubious projects. Leaked contracts revealed Hayley received $125,000 upfront, with promises of over $200,000 more tied to the token's performance. She held a 10% stake in the token supply and stood to earn back-end percentages that could net her millions if the project succeeded. Her claims of ignorance, "I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes," rang hollow when evidence showed she was deeply embedded in the deal. The token's structure incentivized early dumps, a hallmark of pump-and-dump schemes, leaving retail investors holding worthless coins while insiders cashed out. Fans who bought in early watched their investments plummet as the token crashed within days. The backlash was swift and brutal. Fans who'd seen Hayley as one of their own felt betrayed. Social media turned on her, with hashtags like #Tuah scam trending on X. CoffeeZilla's video, released in early January 2025, was a 20-minute takedown, complete with screenshots of contracts, internal messages, and Hayley's own contradictory statements. He revealed that her team had full knowledge of the token's structure and that Hailey's bad contract excuse was undermined by her 50% share of net proceeds, a detail her team later admitted, claiming she was entitled to it. The internet's verdict was unanimous. Hailey wasn't a victim, she was complicit. When the controversy erupted, Hailey vanished. No tweets, no TikToks, no podcast episodes, just silence. Her fans, already disillusioned, were left with nothing but speculation. Had she been misled, or was she just another grifter? The absence of an apology or explanation only fueled the fire. When she finally resurfaced on the 6th of February, 2025, it was with a leaked episode of Hawk Tuah Talks. This was her chance to set the record straight, to rebuild trust, to show the world she was still the authentic girl they'd rallied behind. Instead, she delivered a masterclass in how to make a bad situation worse. The episode opened with a tearful monologue. Hailey, voice trembling, spoke vaguely about sorting things out and thanked her real fans for sticking by her. But before addressing the crypto fiasco, she pivoted to a sponsored ad for a protein shake brand. The tone-deaf move was like pouring gasoline on a dumpster fire. The next 40 minutes were a painful display of deflection. She blamed her project manager, her lawyer, even the crypto community for misunderstanding her intentions. At no point did she take accountability. When FaZe, the podcast's co-host, pressed her on the tokenomics, she stumbled, admitting she didn't get the crypto stuff. FaZe offered a solution: use her earnings to buy back the tokens, lock them up, and walk away. Hailey declined, citing legal complications. The episode's leak added another layer of chaos. FaZe later claimed, in a fiery X thread, that Hailey's team deliberately released the episode without his approval, timed suspiciously with a spike in the Hawk Tuah token's trading volume. He accused them of market manipulation, further eroding Hailey's credibility. CoffeeZilla's follow-up video in mid-February sealed her fate. Armed with new evidence, private messages, financial records, and insider testimony, he painted a damning picture of a calculated scheme. Hailey's team, he argued, had used her viral fame to lure fans into a predatory project, with Hailey as the willing face. Even when the SEC closed its investigation in March 2025 without charges, citing insufficient evidence of fraud, the public had already made up its mind. Hailey Welch was radioactive. Desperate to salvage her brand, Hailey pulled out all the stops for her next podcast episode, featuring KSI, one of the biggest creators on the planet. It was billed as her comeback, her chance to pivot back to the fun, relatable content that made her a star. But the episode was a disaster. Hailey seemed disengaged, asking generic questions and contributing little to the conversation. KSI, ever the professional, tried to carry the episode, but the chemistry was non-existent. Comments on the video were brutal. "She's got nothing to say," one viewer wrote. "When the guest has to do all the work, you know it's over." The episode barely cracked 100,000 views, a far cry from her earlier millions. Her next episode performed even worse, with dislikes outnumbering likes 10 to 1. The internet had moved on. What makes Hailey's story so tragic is what she had and what she lost. She wasn't a manufactured influencer or a clout chaser. She was a genuine phenomenon, a product of pure, unfiltered charisma. Her fans didn't just like her, they believed in her. They saw her as proof that authenticity could still win in a world of polished facades. But when faced with the temptations of fame, money, power, influence, she chose greed over gratitude. The Hawk Tuah token wasn't just a bad business move, it was a betrayal of the trust she'd earned. She could have built a lasting brand, a podcast empire, a legacy as the internet's most lovable underdog. Instead, she chased a quick buck, and the internet, as it always does, held her accountable. Hailey's downfall is a warning to anyone who stumbles into fame. Viral moments are fleeting, but trust is fragile. She had a rare gift, authenticity, and she traded it for a crypto scheme that enriched her at the expense of her fans. The internet doesn't forgive betrayal, and it doesn't forget. Hailey Welch isn't the first to rise fast and fall faster, but her story stands out for its clarity. There was no shadowy mastermind, no external villain, just a girl who had everything and wanted more. More money, more control, more attention, until there was nothing left. The end of the Tuah Girl wasn't just deserved, it was inevitable. In a world where influence is currency, she spent hers recklessly, and the internet called in the debt.